Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chat and Dad. I will not start off this podcast with Artha screaming into the camera
Yes, you will.
to destroy people's ears. My name is Joseph. This is Artha.
Hey, everybody.
Hey Artha, how's it going?
Well, as you know, but maybe the listeners don't know, I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. So I've actually been already sick in the beginning of the year. And now in the beginning of February, I'm sick again. So I want to say it's 2 different strains, but luckily after this, I should be good for the rest of the year. Hopefully no more sickness, because it sucks.
Yeah, this disease-free for the rest of the year, right?
Amen. Amen.
Really starting off the year on a high note for you.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was gonna go for a lot of runs. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go snowboarding, and I'm like, nope. I'm just sick.
That's what happens when you sleep around, Chad.
Well, sleep around the apartment. I know, right? Sometimes I sleep in the sofa. Sometimes I sleep in the.
Yeah.
Sometimes I sleep on the floor. Just
Sometimes on the walls. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, today's kind of a weird day for me too. Well, not because I'm sick, because I'm never sick, because I'm strong, like an ox.
Here, come here.
But
come visit me.
I will. I have been
out.
wanting to make a trip up to Vancouver to you, but yeah, I will say today has been kind of a weird day. It's been snowing, but like it's not like a lot of snow, but like just a little bit of snow just pauses all Vancouver traffic for some reason. Apparently, well, I mean, I'm working from home today, thankfully, but I was hearing from some people that apparently there are already 2 crashes on the 99 and 2 crashes on the 91.
Yeah.
And then the other day at the first drop of snow in like North Vancouver going up that hill, there's already like 10 cars just paused on the side because they just don't have adequate tires. It just seems like the moment snow happens in Vancouver, it just brings out the worst in people.
It doesn't bring the worst of people. It's just like people don't want to pay for winter tires.
Yes, but it's like you had like a 2-week warning for it, so maybe you should prepare just a tiny little bit for it. But no, people just don't do it.
You know what? I blame the American president for implementing tariffs.
Yes, that must be it. Okay, we'll get into that. But, before I did want to say, like, so I had to, because of the snow, the daughter's daycare actually closed today. So she is upstairs right now. I can literally hear her just banging on the floor. Just like the way she steps is just like boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Nonstop. It's great. But yeah, so that's why I have to leave at like 11:45 today because I need to take care of her and take over from the wifely duties.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Be responsible.
What's new? Yeah, I mean, that's me as a dad. All right, yeah. But yeah, no, you were saying this. Yes, definitely blame everything on the American president because he is the one who has brought all of this on us, clearly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The snow and my sickness, should all be related.
I will say it's good to see that at the very least he lifted the tariffs delayed them. But like, don't you feel like we're just gonna live in a life of fear for the next 4 years? Because it feels like he's just hovering that over our head, like an on-off relationship,
Well, okay, if we're gonna dive into politics, I think we've already accepted that he is a showman.
Yes.
So I think this is all just like smoke signals to show to his supporters that look at me, I'm able to do this, I'm able to like have all the countries to like cave in to our demand with tariffs. Which unfortunately, like, he is in control of the strongest economy in the world, right? So
for now.
But yeah, so it's just like, it's just scary, right? Because he can do that. In terms of whether he actually will or not, I'm on the optimist side where I think he wouldn't, because like, again, we're Canada. Like, why would you mess with your closest neighbor? It makes no sense. So it's all, I feel, just like smoke signals.
Well, he's doing that to Mexico as well, which is kind of like top and bottom of him. So
Yeah, I know, but he did that also like in the beginning of the term, right? So, and
100%.
and when he was like the 45th president. So,
If
I
anything,
personally,
yeah.
I personally think it's all just like smoke signals, but we'll see.
I do feel like he is, well, yes, but like I do think he's doing it as a distraction because you know how, I don't know if you've read the news about how Elon Musk is now like taking control of the federal, what was it, like the federal budget or something like that? The federal treasury. So he has control over that. So it's like, what the hell?
It's
He
kind of
has
crazy,
control
right?
over the government money. Yeah, which is
It kind of
insane.
reminds you of like like have you watched Lord of the Rings?
I Which ones? Like the Lord of the Rings, or you're saying the
The Lord of the
prequels, I guess?
Rings.
Yeah,
No, not the
I watched Lord of
prequels.
the Rings. Yeah,
Well,
not the
you know how
second.
like in the second film, like the king was like influenced by like this evil uh,
I think his
yeah,
name's
exactly.
Worm. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
a
yeah.
meme
So
about
I was just
that.
like, I'm not saying Donald Trump is like will become like this like king who suddenly like marches forward and save us all. But I'm just saying the side characters are really like it really reminds you of someone, isn't it? I was like,
Quietly influenced, but he's the figurehead. Oh, I
because like
totally get
okay,
you.
like if you think about it, like Elon, first of all, he was just like a donor and then became like a massive supporter, and suddenly now he becomes like he has like access to the federal like treasury. It was just like,
Yeah,
wait, who's this guy again?
that guy. It's kind of insane how he donated $260 million, and then like basically within a span of a couple of months, he has become like essentially the top, right? Like full
Hmm.
control over everything and whatnot. So
I
it's
know.
insane. Yeah, but
All in order to sell more Cybertrucks, man.
I don't know. I like to think he thinks beyond that too. Like I don't know. He's unpredictable, I will say.
Well, no, I think it's well, I think he's a businessman, so he's doing everything so he can get more money, so he can die in Mars. I genuinely
Yeah,
think that.
isn't that kind of so dumb? I don't know. The way I think about him is just like, why do you need more money? Like at some point, I feel like there's a limit to how much money you actually need, right? Like if you have way more money than any, like someone could easily live comfortably with like I want to say $100 million for the rest of their life,
And
right? They don't
even like 20
10.
million is pretty good.
Yeah, you just put that into a savings account and you just live off the interest, right?
Yes.
I genuinely don't understand. But you know what? Whatever makes them happy, I guess. There's always that feeling of wanting more and more. Well,
I know. It's
I can
called
hear it.
affluenza, Joseph. Have you heard of that?
There you go. There you go. I told you. Affluenza, Now he's like feeling like well, I mean, realistically, that's literally what it is. Like when you're so rich that you feel like you can just get away with anything, that's affluenza because you don't know what's right and wrong. And you just start
Yeah,
mixing that up, right?
exactly. So,
Yeah. Yeah. What
well,
else
I
is in
mean,
the
like,
news? Let's move on.
oh, yeah, other things in the news, a Luka Dončić trade, and I know you don't care about sports, so
We briefly talked about this, and you're gonna have to educate me on what a Luka is.
okay, all right. So I'm gonna explain this in that terms.
Okay.
Okay, all
This is
right. You know
basketball,
how
right?
like
Wait,
okay,
basketball, right?
yeah, basketball.
Okay, cool.
You know
Okay.
how like you just got that amazing tool that can smoke, barbecue, grill, everything?
Yeah, I got one of
Like
those. Yeah.
like the Ninja something, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Imagine you traded that, right,
Okay.
for like a 2014 like air fryer when it first came out.
Give some context to this. Like which team and which team traded with
Okay,
what?
so this Ninja air fryer, the 5-in-1 thing that can do everything, he's Luca.
Okay. Yes.
And Anthony
And he was
Davis,
on, but he was on which team?
he was in the Mavericks. Okay.
He was in Mavericks with Mark
So
Cuban. Yep.
you have probably the most important player or like the most like exciting player in the NBA right now.
Right.
Okay, and then everybody thought he was like untouchable. No one will like touch your tool here,
Yes.
right? and then and
Giggity.
then and then suddenly out of the blue, like your manager traded this like 5-in-1 ninja like barbecue smoker thing
Okay.
or like an old school like air fryer from 2014, or like
Right.
traded it for like an Instapot back in the day.
And you're saying Anthony in this metaphor or whatever you
Yeah,
call
and
it,
Anthony Davis is the
Anthony
Instapots.
Davis is the instant pot.
Yeah, and why
So
it's funny, it's because
okay.
like you know, both of these tools can cook good things, but they're different things, and they're different
Right.
models from like different generations. Like back in the day, who were not excited getting an instant pot? Okay,
Right.
right? You can again boil. It can like make rice.
Okay.
What else? Pressure cook everything, right? But
Right.
then like came along like the Ninja 5-in-1 barbecue sizzler whatever thing, and it's just like, oh, it's so exciting and new, and it's like it came like 7 years after the Instapot.
So okay. So is Luka? I'm assuming what you're implying is Luka is way better than Anthony at
Yes,
what he does. Is that correct?
yes, yeah.
Okay. Uh, why?
Well, one, he's young. Last year, he sent the team to the NBA Finals.
As in,
Right.
like, why did they trade Luka away? I guess that they don't
So
know.
there's a lot of, so that's the thing. Why would you, right? Why would you? What you're trading? You're trading like in soccer. You're trading Messi here. Why would you trade
Mm-hmm.
Messi? Right?
Makes
It's
sense.
like with like, oh god, like
Okay.
not Ronaldo the buff one, but Ronaldo like the bald Brazilian one. There's two
I,
Ronaldos.
I don't know your sports terms, dude.
Okay, but anyway, yeah. Back to this. Back to this cooking
Okay.
tools, right?
Okay. Wait.
So
Okay. So let me just ask questions. Okay. So Luka is on the Mavericks, Dallas
yes,
Mavericks, right, with
yes,
Mark Cuban, and
yes.
then
No,
who's
Mark
Anthony
Cuban doesn't
Davis?
own the Mavs anymore.
Oh, he does. Oh, right. He sold it. Right. Okay. So anyways, Mavs, and then who's the other team? Who's Anthony Davis on?
Lakers.
Lakers. So you're saying they traded one for the other. So Anthony Davis is now with Mavs. Is that correct?
Well, they traded more. Like they traded more like one more additional player and like some draft picks. But that's like
Oh,
but nobody cares about that. They only care about Anthony Davis and Luka.
yeah. So I'm assuming the internet is pissed off because it was a really bad trade, or in
Well,
their eyes, I
Lakers
guess.
fans are not pissed off.
Okay, makes sense.
Dallas fans are like up in arms right now.
Okay, cool. Um, that's really good to hear. That's really cool to know. I will say, like, I will always appreciate you for bringing sports facts into these things because I don't follow unless
And
it's
also,
wrestling.
yeah, also like too long didn't read. One of the reasons why people think he got traded is because Luka is eligible for like the Supermax bonus or something. Basically, like he's eligible for additional like $175 million next season
If he stayed with the
if he
team.
stayed. If he stayed, because he's been like a player for Mavs for so long, and he's like been sending the team to like the NBA Finals and everything. So I
So you're
think
saying
they wanna offload him before that clause can come into play.
I didn't know you could just do that. Like it's like promising someone a bonus and then just cutting them off right before and be like, you're like go now, or like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gonna
no,
fire you for
that
like
happens all the time
random
in
reasons.
sports, especially in soccer. Like
Oh, does
like
it?
yeah, sometimes like there's clauses like if a player scores more than like 10 goals a season, you're eligible to sign him if you loan him.
Hmm.
So
Loaning
what
him?
happens is like a lot of coaches suddenly is like, oh shit, he already scored 9 goals, like, and then start subbing him off.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess that's like the cost of doing business, I guess.
Yeah, it's a shitty
Yes.
move. You have to
Yeah.
remember, like, again, these are not teams; these are franchises in the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, speaking of businesses, today our
Yes.
topic is let's move on. Let's our topic today. So, from our conversation last week, we wanted to try something different. We're going to try some rotating podcast topics so that we can do something new every single week. And this week, we decided to move forward with $1 million bad ideas,
Let's
basically
do
coming
it.
up with $1 million business ideas that make sense, kind of, but all in all are generally bad ideas. And at the end of this, whenever when we're done presenting, we have to agree or disagree whether or not this is a good or bad idea. But before we get there, I mean, Artha, have you ever started a business yourself?
Well, I am a self-proprietor that have to do this so I can like manage my taxes and everything whenever I make money from my filmmaking. But
Absolutely.
that's the only scope of like business. Again, my business is pretty straightforward. I'm more like a service. So I do a service, client pays me.
Name drop your website, buddy.
Cinemartha.com. Oh man, I'm not wearing
There
my
you
hat.
go.
Anyway. But yeah, so that's what I do. Wait, how about you, Joseph?
Wait, you have a hat?
Yeah,
wait, let me see. Yeah. Or like Cinemartha. Did you change your computer chair? Why is it pink?
It's always been pink.
Interesting. That's pretty cool, man. You got swag and everything.
Well, just the hat.
Yeah.
But how about you? I know you help a lot of businesses like start.
Yeah, I actually just incorporated my business. I don't know if I told you, but like I've been doing more like freelancing and web agency stuff lately. I incorporated under my company, and then now I have like multiple entities under it. But whenever I get new clients and whatnot, that's going to be folded under this company, and then we can talk tax management one day if you'd like. But basically, the whole idea is now this entity, this corporation has its own bank account, and then I just pay myself as an employee every single month. So that lowers your tax rate because your company has the bank account, and then you pay the small business corporate tax rate on that, and then whatever you draw, you just have to pay taxes on that as per like an employee. Right. So very cool. Yeah. I've been playing around with it and it's coming. And then I just recently launched a web agency for doulas. So that's for Lynn, for the wife. So it's called birthcreative.com. You should check it out. I just finished a website like 2 days ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, woohoo! Yeah, so lots of things on the go, but like it's only been like 2 days of launching. So I'm actually working on the marketing strategy right now and just reaching out to people and seeing what I can do with it. Yeah,
indeed, and hopefully the dream you can buy me out. Lovely.
How much for your portion of Chad?
It's so hard, man. I just want to make videos. I don't want to do the paper. But anyway, that's a separate conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll help you with your paperwork anytime, dude. But yeah, no, anyways, so back to topic. So I think obviously over the years, I've had a ton of terrible ideas. No, I mean, just ideas that, you know what? No, I would say they're not necessarily terrible. They just haven't been validated. I think that's a better way of looking at it. I think at some point I wanted to start like it would have been a good idea at the time, actually. I wanted to build what was it? Let me look this up. It's in my notes. I want to talk about it, actually.
Okay.
I wanted to build a daycare management platform. So daycares around Vancouver. So like they have to have a management tool so that they can, for example, communicate with parents and then like pass on messages over the parents and whatnot, right?
So basically just kind of like a platform where you can just like log in and see your kid's schedule or whatever.
Yeah, because the daughter, like at her daycare, they use something like that called Easy Kids, and then like every day you look at it and you see like this is what she ate, this is how many times she peed, pooped, what she ate today, did she sleep, any messages that get passed along, pictures as well and stuff. But then like the platform itself is like it's terrible. Like I don't understand how they're managed to use something like that and stay in business. But that's where I'm like, I could totally build something like that, and I could totally do a better job at it too. So
anywho, all right, well there you go.
I wouldn't put that under $1 million bad ideas. I actually think it's a pretty good idea, so I'll eventually build it. But anywho, yeah, let's get right into it. Artha, tell me some of your $1 million bad ideas. Let's start off with one.
Okay, all right. So I want to start an influencer agency specifically for gaslighting people. I guess that's what all influencer agencies do.
Wait, what's that different from like current influencers?
Okay, but anyway, all right. But okay, so it all started when I was in Facebook Marketplace, right? And then I want to buy those like soccer cleats. It's like, it's like this person listed for like let's say like $50. And I haggled like, hey, $30 and I'll pick it right now. And he's like, no, can't. Again, I don't know if I should be proud or like the opposite of proud of this, but I start messaging all my friends to like kind of like message this person as well, and lowballing him even worse, like $20. And I think by like the 12th person, he was like so sick. And then I just showed up like 2 days later. Hey, is this still available? And it was like, yeah, sure. I'll give it to you for $30. And I'm like,
dude, that okay.
It's my gaslighting army.
So you actually got 12 people messaging this one person with cleats?
Yeah, at different times.
That seems like, not gonna lie, that seems like a lot of effort just to save $20.
It's okay. It's also it's almost like I want to test it out as well and see, and it also kind of worked.
Dude, it worked. I mean, there's nothing influencer about it. I think it's just like getting 12 people to, essentially, it's a small time DDoS attack, if you're familiar with that.
So it's kind of like the same as well, you know. If let's say you want to do like, I don't know, you want to buy something, or like you're not sure of something, right? My influencer agency can like attack you. My gaslighting army can attack you. I'm like, you should do it. You should do it.
Isn't that something you can just use AI for, actually? Because like, you just have to start, like, let's call it 12 different Facebook accounts, and then just using AI
but you'll see that
messages.
they're bots. We need to sign like the Joe Rogans of like the world.
I don't think people necessarily look to that extent when they're buying stuff off Facebook Marketplace, but I agree.
You know, you gotta think larger. Like, let's say,
no, I agree.
Let's say, for example, you want to elect a democratically leader, right?
Okay.
You hire my gaslighting army to gaslight the society to choose the candidate that they pay for. Did I just explain how the election works?
Well, that, and you also need someone like Elon Musk who like works on the inside to
exactly. If you go to
the system,
if you go to X right now, it's all just like him gaslighting everyone that's against him.
Literally, yeah.
It's not only a gaslighting; it's like an echo chamber. It's like a gas chamber. It was just like a bad thing.
Yeah, I read an article yesterday that he's now suing advertisers.
Okay.
Which is like he's suing advertisers for boycotting his platform. Like, he's basically saying, hey, because you didn't advertise on my platform, I'm going to sue you. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Just one more example before we go to you. Like, okay, this morning, right? I don't even follow him on X, but it's like I don't follow him on Twitter, but I still see his tweets. And today his tweet is like, white South Africans have been like discriminated and they've been run out of the country and things like that. And I'm like, bro, you're just gaslighting apartheid here. This is like history repeating itself.
Yep.
And the fact that like in words he wrote like white South Africans, and I know you're a white South African as well, but still, bro, I'm like, make the racism more subtle, no? Affluenza, indeed.
I told you this is totally affluenza. But no, let's go back to your idea. Like, I'm not gonna lie, from like I like it. I'm trying to think. So as someone who also buys things from Facebook Marketplace from time to time, I can see it as a small time thing that you could totally get away with.
No, okay. So for example, right? You started the web agency for doulas, right?
Right.
So my gaslighting army, my gaslighting army will be like suddenly targeting all these doulas and ads and be like, "You don't have a website? You don't have a website made by this agency? Nah, man, no.
I'm gonna say
Lynn's gonna hate me."
All right. You know what? Let me put my final thoughts on it then. I actually think it's a. I'll give it to you. I think for a small time agency, as a gaslighting agency, I could actually see it being pretty viable. How would you actually no? I will end with a question. How would you charge for it?
I'm just the brains, man. I need to hire I'm just the creative director. I'm just the visionary. Okay.
Dude, this is $1 million bad idea. How is it going to make $1 million?
What's already okay? It's already a bad idea when you ask me for business ideas. That's the thing, right? So,
but
you give me
there's
$1
got to be a
million.
revenue model. Okay.
It's that's already $1 million bad idea. Giving me $1 million.
How about you? Let's say you're able, you get a cut of it. So like, let's say going back to your cleats example, you're looking for something that's $50, and if you manage to get it for $30, then you pay like 10% of that back to the agency.
So I pay like $10.
No. Then you pay like, I don't know, man, like 10% of $50. I don't know, $5. So you pay like $5 based on like the original cost of the item. So like 10% of the original cost. So that's $50 cleats. That means 10% of that is $5. So you get it for 30, you have to pay $5 to the agency.
Okay, and this agency has to split it with all the 12 people. So that's like
Well, yes. So that's okay. So based on that, I don't think the revenue model works, because you also have to like trust that the buyer is not an asshole and like will actually share how much you actually got it for.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing you want a deal, so you're just gonna try and negotiate that deal. Like, no, not 10%, 5% instead. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, that's the idea for my like gaslighting army agency. GAA.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Let me go over mine. I actually really like mine. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay. So how much time do you spend on Reddit?
Not that much.
Not that much? Okay.
I'm from Asia. Not a lot of people use Reddit. I only use it like probably use it like for some news source, probably like honestly like 8% of the time. But okay, go from your perspective.
Do you at least check it like every day?
No.
Okay. Anyways, well, okay. Where I'm going with this is, okay, so you have Reddit, and Reddit, you get a lot of people, like it's mostly text-based, I would say, right? So like you get a lot of people responding in the comments, right? Like whenever someone makes a point, they respond back with like their other points. And generally Reddit works because it's very opinionated, right? Everyone has a stupid opinion. Everyone somehow believes they're an expert when it comes to certain things. I guess you could say it's the same idea with like TikTok, Instagram, whatnot. People post videos because they're like, I'm an expert about something I literally just learned like 2 minutes ago, right? What if there was a site, an online matchmaker for online debates? So it's a marketplace for online debates. So somebody, let's say you and me are part of this. Like I go into this chat, this online forum, or no, sorry, this online debate platform, and I say like, I would like to debate about this topic, and then the platform would match with someone like yourself who has the opposite side of this debate. Okay. And then you and I would get matched into a ring, and then we just go at it.
All right.
So like it's exactly like this, but like with a stranger. It's like chatterbait, or like yeah. So you're matched with strangers, and then you're debating with them about this topic. And then it could be anything like, it could be anything trivial, or it could be like about politics. Okay. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I have a couple of thoughts. One, how do you prevent the trolls?
Oh, no, you don't. So that's the point, right? Like it's like you have to.
Is this like a serious thing? Is this like a serious platform, or any random person can just go?
Okay, fair enough. It's a serious platform. So like if people jump in and they go back to your topic about trolls, right? Like when you said trolls, I meant,
because here's the thing: if it's a serious one, then you're gonna actually make money. But like if you make it like if you make it a free platform, then it won't, because like you're gonna get all the trolls, and it's basically just gonna be like a Facebook wall.
But I think this is where, like, over time, you get to rate your opponent based on their things, right? Like, okay, so like to define trolls, I think if you meant like people just going in and not debating like wholeheartedly or whatnot. I get that, but I think, you know, you're gonna be able to weed them out over time. Like versus trolls who'd like just log in and don't say anything. I think those you should definitely kick out. So from a
Okay.
serious standpoint, yeah, trolls, people who aren't wholeheartedly debating, yeah, I get it, but like I think that would be reflected in their profiles and their ratings and whatnot. So over time,
Okay.
you get like the really good quality debaters on both sides, and then that's where I think something meaningful could come out of it. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah. Okay. I get it. It's almost like chess.com.
What about chess.com? Is that just
Well,
for playing
you
chess?
can challenge people to play chess, and then you can get ratings and stuff.
Yes, but that's yes. I
Okay.
don't think, are you able to talk in that?
Oh, yeah, you can have a chat.
But
I
like
don't
more
think you can
text
talk.
based, not video
Yeah,
based.
like text space. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Usually it's just
Gotcha.
like people are like your turn or something.
Yeah.
But okay, another thing is like, will you have moderators to moderate the debate?
No, you will not. I think this is where you need to have like two, again, it's a serious platform. So you have two separate sides where like I think people respect each other's boundaries enough to be able
Mm-hmm.
to moderate themselves, right? Like I think this is where again it's I see it as necessarily a good and bad idea. Like I was actually in between those because I was leaning towards a good idea because it's like a, you know, people can't hide their identity on like an online platform like this, right? Because they're on camera, right? Unless it's Reddit, then it's like, oh, I'm just going to be a troll about it. When they're on camera, they're forced to be on camera to debate with the person who they're debating with, right? So this is where I think the true colors and the respect will come from that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I think
But yeah, but it's
I see.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let me finish. But it's a bad idea because I feel like that could also bring out the worst in people.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. It's almost like you're making a platform for people who are just like ready for a fight. You know what I mean?
Percent. But I
And
feel
it's
like
just like,
if there's not enough anonymity, like if there's no anonymity in it, I think people would be more respectful as a result.
yeah. Because
So,
one thing I learned from like Facebook walls or Facebook pages or like Facebook debates, you know,
mhm.
it's funny to watch, but in the end, like people who debate the most, they just like, in the end, they get nothing other than like spite for each other,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, you know, there's like the saying, like, there's this saying, like, one time I was watching a guy, again, and this may be like, could be like in the debate space as well, because I watch a lot of debates. You know, like never in my life has I ever changed my mind when somebody like start yelling or like start throwing rocks at me, you know. So it's just like that is actually a good point. That is actually a good point. Because most of the time, like in debates, let's say like the recent like US president debates, I almost like sometimes like with the right wings, I understand them when they're more like composed, when they're more like, you know,
Oh
professional.
yes. Yes.
But the ones who are like yelling and things like that, and Jubilee, the YouTube channel that does a lot of debates like that, is like I feel guilty in bringing like the worst of both sides to start yelling at each other. Whereas like the rational people who are more on like kind of trying to understand each other is more like drowned out by the sound. But
Well,
I don't know,
that's what this platform is looking for. It's for rational people.
exactly. But you know, everyone thinks they're rational.
That's true. But
But I think it does have potential. I think the problem is just there's a lot of kinks, right?
kinky.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Well, you know, there's a lot of kinks you have to work. There's a lot of kinks you have to work because like
Yeah.
I mean, take Facebook. Originally, it was just like a place where you can like post photos and connect with friends. That's it.
And rate. Yeah. Totally.
And then fast forward now, it's like a platform for my gaslighting army. You know, nobody expected that.
So, okay. So to close things off, then, because I do have to run, would you invest in this idea and would you use this platform?
Well, I'll invest in this idea when you buy me out.
I'll give you $5 for the Chad portion.
Anyway, all right, okay. Thanks everybody for listening. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you know who Luka is based on like cooking tools.
Yeah, he's a Ninja 5-in-1. That's
Yeah, don't
definitely what it
forget
is.
to like and subscribe to our podcast, the Chad and Dad podcast.
Yes, and that is all for now. See you guys next week for another episode of
Chad and Dad. Bye bye.
Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.